Right, guys, hopefully you can hear me now. It was connected through my my laptop speakers. What is going on? What is going on? Can you guys hear me, yeah? What's happening, guys? Perfect. What is everyone up to? I titled this live, Time is Going By Quickly, because, wow, it's the 23rd of January already. The first month is almost over. How has your month been? Insane. I know. It's the sign of the times, man. I swear, when I was a kid, a year was long. Now, a year goes by like 3 months, 2 months. Time is moving faster for some reason. It's crazy. But, I mean, if you're doing a lot of work and you're getting better, then that's something that you're excited about because you get closer to going to new places and doing new things. Remember the saying, time will either promote you or expose you. So live every day with the mentality of, I want to get better with time. This time next year, I want to be living a much better life. So be conscious of your input. Be conscious of your day-to-day routine. What does it look like? You know, I made a video once called The Danger of 0 days, days where you do nothing productive, because they add up. They add up. And if you have 60, 70, 80, 90 days of 365 where you do nothing, I mean, that's a lot amount of days, man. It adds up. That's it, Valentino. Time will either promote you or expose you. Guys, I want to ask for your feedback on something. I want to ask for your feedback. How do you think I can make the videos better? Tell me how I could make the videos better. What do you want to see more on the channel? I was thinking of perhaps making reaction videos, perhaps, where I share my input on what's going on. Someone said personality, as if I have no personality. Yeah. No, I'm joking. I'll definitely be sharing more of my personality for sure. I am a very serious motherfucker, I know. I'm very serious, right? But, you know, I've got a personality. I've got a personality to share. Disgusting and ashamed of what I've become. Well, you should be ashamed of yourself. That's unacceptable, my brother. Unacceptable. Bring on women guests. Oh, man. Nah, I don't think I'd go down that route, man. Everyone's doing that these days. It's too corny. Plus, I don't really see the value in it because you're talking to women that you know you can bully. That's how these guys do it. They get women that are young, OnlyFans girls, and they just start bullying them for an hour or 2 hours, you know? But what I'm thinking of is reaction videos, maybe editing the videos a little bit as well, because that's the world we live in today, man. People want stuff to appear on the screen and stuff like that. Maybe some more videos or pictures of me when I was young. I don't think I have many videos, but pictures of when I was younger and stuff like that, so you guys can see the come up, right? And I hope you guys are enjoying the podcasts as well. I want you guys to comment on them when you see them pop up as well, because that's how the algorithm promotes the podcast even more. So the more comments, the more likes, the better it is for the channel growth overall. Yeah, I'm doing very good, brother. Very good. I love the podcasts. I listen to them in the gym. Good man. That's what I like to hear. Add more camera angles to your podcasts. Well, I'm going to. I've got these two 4K webcams that I was going to connect because DSLRs are, quite pricey. I've got the main one for the main shot, but I'm the kind of guy, when I go hard, I go hard. So I don't want to just get any cheap camera for the sake of a second angle or third angle. I want to go for the big boy stuff. I've currently got a Sony A6700 as my main podcast camera, and then I use this crisp little webcam. This is a webcam that I'm using right now. This is what I use for most of my videos. A $300 webcam off Amazon called the Instalink 360. I'm not sponsored, but it's a cool little thing, and it follows you as well. See that? So it's a cool little tool as well. What happened to the Jaguar? Well, the X351, my new Jag, is written off. Khalas, they're taking it. It's a shame because it wasn't damaged extremely badly to the extent where it can't be repaired. It can be repaired, but obviously with the insurance companies, they have a different way of working things. So I've got a Jaguar now, an XJ, an old one, a 1998 Jaguar XJ8. That's also in the garage right now, not because I crashed it, because it's misfiring and there's a few things that need fixing on it. So we'll see what the damage is tomorrow when they call me. Your value is super high regardless. I don't consider yourself an entertainer. I consider you far above that. You're high value content. I appreciate that, brother. The thing is, we live in a world now where even self-improvement YouTubers need to be somewhat entertaining for the message to hit home. I'm not saying that I'm a boring bastard, but people need stuff. That's why someone like Hamza did very well on YouTube. It's because obviously the editing style, people's attention spans are so short these days that you need to constantly trigger them from different ways and different angles and stuff like that, Ali, please answer. Can you please give a few words on how you stopped getting urges? Okay, I want to make something very clear. Urges are okay. Urges are perfectly okay. If you don't have any urges, then your testosterone might be very low, in which case go and see a doctor, right? And this is not medical advice. But urges are fine. If you're horny, that's good. That means you're a male with testosterone running through his system. Everything's working as it should. Good. Right? Don't see the urges as a bad thing. Oh my God, I've got urges now. Oh my God, that girl has made me fucking hard. That means something's wrong with me. No. I like urges, but I just contain them. I direct them in the way that I want to direct them. My urges don't run me. I run my urges, right? Breakup advice. We were together many years, 29, and feel hopeless. Well, you were okay before her, brother, and you will be okay after her. A woman is a complement to your life. She's never the focal point. And the reason why a lot of guys are devastated when a woman leaves is because they made her the focal point. If your life is incredible, just picture this for a second, guys, right? If your life is amazing, you do something you absolutely love to make money. You meet incredible people all the time. You're in the gym. You're working out. You've got great friends that work out with you. Maybe you go jiu-jitsu. You go boxing. You travel every now and then to a country that you want to go to for business or for pleasure. Your life is great. A woman walking in should only walk in to add value to that life. But when you have a life that isn't bringing you fulfillment and a woman walks in, all of a sudden she becomes the main target now for you. She becomes the main objective. Oh my God, I just want to be with her all the time. You start staying at home with her all the time. And in the beginning, it's romantic, it's cute. Oh, stay with me, honey. Well, all right then, fine, After a while, you get too soft. You start gaining weight. You're behind on your promises. That business that you tried to impress her with at the beginning, every guy does that, right? You want to impress the girl because she'll like me more. You've never started that business, right? So a lot of things will just fucking be put on the sideline and you'll get worse. So look, get back to having a well-stacked life. If you had one before, if you've never had a life that brought you fulfillment, well, start working on it right now. You've got a tremendous amount of time and harness that pain. The best pain ever is the pain that you go through after a breakup. And I say it's the best, not because it's enjoyable, but because it's incredibly transformative if you take advantage of it. If you don't take advantage, well, you're not going to reap the rewards. I said, shush. Who is this guy? I think I can block people on live if they're being negative. So if you are being negative on here, you're getting kicked out because this ain't the place for it. We're grown men here. I live in California. Literally one of two females I meet have a kid or a divorce. Well, the thing is, you get what you focus on, Brian. You get what you focus on. You know, if you're adopting the mentality that, oh man, women today are damaged and women today, then that's all you're going to meet. You're just going to meet women who have gone through a lot of trauma and they're not ready to settle down and things like that. But if you say, you know what, there's plenty of good women out there, like force yourself to change the conversation that you're having. I appreciate something. My girlfriend broke up with me not too long ago and now I can't contain the urges. How did you make sure you contain the urges and make them help you? Well, look, you'll relapse from time to time. I've said this when it comes to nofap and pornography. If you've been addicted for 5-10 years, then you're going to relapse on your journey of overcoming this addiction. You will relapse. That's okay. Expect it, right? But do your best to stay productive. Hit the gym, go boxing, leave the house. One thing I always say is when you're out of the house, you're less likely to relapse. And if you stay out the house as long as possible and only come back to sleep, then you're less likely to fiddle around with your willy and fucking bust all over yourself, right? But when you're at home all day or all evening and you got nothing to do, nothing, then the devil will come and start whispering in your ear. What made you transition from 9 to 5 to doing your own thing? Well, the thing is, I was doing my own thing even with a 9 to 5. And I don't shit on 9 to 5s. I think they're very, very important. And you can work for some incredible companies along your journey of realizing your potential. Okay, a job is important. I always say a job will fund your dreams. It absolutely will. Entrepreneurship isn't a straight line up. There's going to be ups and downs. You're going to lose money. You're going to have to go back into a job a few times. And some people, even though they're entrepreneurial, they still like working for a company because it gives them structure. But for me, what it was, I don't like to be micromanaged. I don't like someone saying, oh, you can't, or, you know, why are you this and why are you that? You know, I hate someone being overbearing. I hate that. And just the whole idea of, you know, working in it's almost like going back to school in a way. For me, that's how it felt. I had a lot of sales jobs and being at your desk and having someone walk around, you know, monitoring what you're doing. I just didn't like that. I liked my own freedom. I liked being able to do whatever I want, whenever I wanted. But I'm more motivated by the fear of staying the same than by the pleasure of gain. I don't like the idea of being in the same place financially speaking year on year. And that's the thing with jobs. Yes, in sales, you can make more. But even in sales, in a corporate environment, there's usually stipulations for you to get paid your commission, or you must do this. And if you don't do this by this deadline, then you won't get this. And yes, they're done to protect the company's financials. But when you work for yourself, it's a different level of commitment. You know, Jim Rohn used to say, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Right? What you do outside of your 9 to 5 has the potential to make you a fortune. A job will make you a living. But no job will make you a fortune. I don't care what the job is. No job will make you a fortune. I'm happy to hear that you're enjoying the course, brother. You know, I just want to say that Ida is one of my top students when it comes to day trading. He's doing a tremendous job. He's winning so strongly, right? Every time I say tremendous, man, I always think of Donald Trump. You got a nice mic. Which brand is that? Well, I think it's the most recognizable brand of mic. It's the Shure SM7B. Ali, is your father-husband era approaching, inshallah? You could say that. I mean, I definitely do want to get married. I believe in marriage. I think it's an absolutely beautiful thing. She's got to be the right lady, of course. So we got to do our background checks. We got to make sure that, you know, we have a smooth transition to the marriage life, right? And that there's no significant problems, right? Got to do a little MOT check, right? Want to make sure that the family gets on with her and, you know, all sorts of stuff. But, you know, God willing soon, God willing. Who was your mentor? Well, people with the word mentor, people picture this one person who mentored you. I learned from a lot of people in various disciplines, people that were superb traders, people that were superb public speakers, people that were superb personal trainers. And I take things from people that I've come across and people that I've watched at seminars and people's books that I've read, and I implement it into my own life. You know, Jim Rohn used to say, don't be a follower. Very important. There's a lot of people out there that are just obsessive followers of one particular person, and that's damaging. You need to think for yourself. Take what you like, leave what you don't like. I don't expect everyone who watches my videos to agree with everything that I say. Some of you might be like, he's a good guy, but I don't agree with this. I expect that. I'm not naive to that fact. You know, Andrew Tate might say something pretty good. I'm like, yeah, you know what? He's fucking right about that. He might say something else. And I know a lot of what he does is satire and it's done for comedic effect, but he might say something that I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't really do that, you know? So think for yourself. Don't be a sheep. It's sad that I see a lot of young guys now just, you know, obsess over one man. Like, oh yeah, he's the holy grail. He's going to get me out of this. Yeah. Don't be thinking this way. Think for yourself. How to judge a woman if she's good for us or not. Well, watch what a woman does. Don't just blindly believe what she says. And this applies to not just women, even people that you're about to do business with or friends. Watch what they do. People can talk a load of shit, man. In my experience so far in life, I've met a lot of people that talk left and walk right. I've met people that were backstabbers. You're in your face, smiley, oh yeah, you know, I'm your friend, isn't it? Behind your back, different story. Same thing with women, right? Don't just be like, oh, she said she loves me, Ali. She told me that she loves me. Yeah, but how is she showing up? How is she showing up for you? That is true, Brian. Although I would say this, everything is risky. Everything is risky. And yes, you should take your precautions. Yes, you should move as wisely as possible. But even then, you can't prevent risk entirely. You can minimize risk, but you have to accept that there is a risk. This is something us traders have to learn very quickly. As a day trader, you have to accept risk. In an ideal world, if you could place a trade and win every time, that'd be fantastic, right? It'd be beautiful. You just keep winning, keep printing money, keep making money, right? In an ideal world. But that's just the nature of life. There's negatives and there's positives. We've got to accept the risk. You could get it right. You could end up marrying an amazing woman who's faithful to you and has your babies and treats you well until the day you die. It does happen for some men. And at the same time, you could also marry a woman who's dreadful. But then it's up to you to end that very quickly. Take your L, process that L, be like, you know what, that was a shit marriage, but I'm not going to rob myself of potentially experiencing lifelong love just because of that one bad experience. And like I said, move carefully, of course. I'm not saying blindly go in and we'll split everything, honey. You know, don't be doing that shit, right? Move smartly, but don't be terrified of risk. And guys, by the way, if you want exclusive video content, subscribe to the Patreon. The link is down in the description of this live. It's literally patreon.com/the-top3%. Shout out to the 22 people that have already joined the Patreon. I appreciate you guys. I've posted an exclusive video on there today. So there's some behind the scenes stuff that you guys won't see on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe to the Patreon. Well, the most important thing when it comes to trading is acquiring the information. And this applies to many other disciplines, not just trading, but more so trading because of the nature of what you're going to be doing. Putting money in a live account and trading straight away with no experience is stupid. That's like trying to fly a plane without any lessons. Stupid. That's why some people lose money and they say, oh, trading is too difficult. Yeah. You didn't acquire the information. You have no concept of trading psychology, risk management, none of that stuff. You're just, oh yeah, hopefully this will make me money. That gambler mindset. Stupid. I made that mistake in the beginning. I thought, yeah, you don't need no training. Everything's for free, whatever, right? Believe me, you'll make tons of mistakes this way. And you'll burn out and then you'll start becoming resentful. So I have a day trading course where I teach people my specific strategy. And also I explain what trading is and how to get started with trading and the avenues that you can go down. Have you ever been betrayed by a friend? If so, how'd you deal with it? I have indeed. I have indeed. It's happened more than once. This was early in my 20s. And it's difficult because, you know, at the time you're like, man, this is someone I've known for a while and things like that. Why did this have to happen? But I think acceptance is an important thing. It's a concept that a lot of guys need to come to terms with. Accept it. It doesn't mean you like the way it is. Accept the way it is. Some people are going to be snaky in life. Some people are going to talk left and walk right, as I said. They're going to promise something, they won't fulfill it. They'll pretend to be such a great friend, and then you'll realize they've been a snake all along. It's just the way it is, man. It's the nature of life. Thank you, Javier, for the donation, brother. Appreciate it, man. How do you gain someone's trust back? Well, I would say the success rate of gaining someone's trust back isn't particularly high. Human beings in general, when they've been betrayed, they're not very receptive to that individual the second time round. I mean, people can forgive, but it's very rare that someone can forget completely. And so I would say show up differently. The only thing you can do, if you genuinely regret treating somebody badly, actually change. Don't just say, well, I'm a different person now. You know, actually show up differently. Let them realize by seeing what you're doing that you're a different person now. You know, maybe your partner broke up with you because you have a drinking problem and they think, yeah, he's never going to quit, right? Stop drinking. I know it's easier said than done, but when they see you and you're not drinking anymore and you haven't been drinking consistently every time they see you, well, they might be like, well, he's a changed man. He's a changed man now. Yeah, I was out in the rain, so there's that wet effect going on right now. How do you think you'd compare to the average dude? Top 1%. Well, average is something I'm allergic to. I wouldn't say I'm a perfect individual right now. Still got a long way to go. But I feel there's a lot of things that I do very well. And one of the things that I do very well is I'm very coachable. I'm very teachable, even to this day. Yes, I make YouTube videos around self-improvement, but I'm not perfect. Remember what Earl Nightingale defined success as. It's the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. I know I'm flawed in many areas. And that's what makes me continuously improve, is because I know I'm not perfect. Unfortunately, I speak to a lot of guys, especially younger guys, who are, how can I put it, full of ego, undeserved ego, because you can deserve your ego. You can earn it, right? If you have a big ego like Ronaldo or, you know, a top athlete, you've earned that. You've proven to the world that you're the best for many, many years. But a lot of young guys are like, oh, no, I don't need to learn that. Or, you know, I'm good as I am. That's a major, major flaw. And how do you talk so smoothly? I never hear you start to, well, first of all, say mashallah. Okay, very important that you say that. But it's something that I've worked on over the years. When I first got into public speaking, I was crap. Shit. Stuttering every second. A lot of filler words. Body language was terrible. My hands were in my pockets. I was never looking at people in the eyes. And it's something that I developed over time. You've got to be bad before you're good and good before you're great. That's the progression. I'm going to keep plugging the Patreon. Make sure you subscribe to the Patreon, fellas. It's 15, I think 16 pounds, 20 bucks for exclusive content. What's your advice for living a life of abundance without money being the primary focus? That's a good question, that is. I think we should look at money differently. Money isn't going to make you any happier. Money in of itself isn't going to make you any happier. If you're a miserable person and people give you money and you inherited millions of dollars, trust me, that misery will not go away. You're just now miserable with a lot more money. That's what it is. But if you're someone who lives a fulfilled life, happy is the wrong metric. I hate the word happy when it comes to measuring success, because life is brutal, man. Life is not easy. So for someone to want happiness all the time is naive. Life has ups and downs. But to be fulfilled, I think fulfillment is the word we should focus on, right? To be fulfilled, you don't need a lot of money. There's people that live in poor parts of the world that are fulfilled in what they do. They wouldn't trade what they do for any amount of money. Fulfillment can be attained by progressing at something that is important to you, by understanding what's important to you. I think a lot of people don't know what's important to them. And that's why they mindlessly consume entertainment and buy things they don't need, because they don't know what's actually important to them. Yeah, as I've matured, and I'm still a young guy, of course, but I've realized the importance of family more and more often. And the idea of marriage, for example, for me is now more important than it was when I was younger. And obviously it's because I've gotten older and I've thought about it a lot more. But there's things that aren't as important as I used to think they were. I would much rather be fulfilled in what I do and earn 60,000 a year than be unfulfilled and earn 200,000. Because what is money? You could die of a heart attack, and then you've got a lot more money in your bank account. But if every other aspect of your life is behind and the money is in front, then what kind of a life is that? So I would say focus on every area of your life. Make sure you have an abundant social life. Make sure your romantic life, it's not going to be perfect. I'm not saying it's going to be fucking amazing, no. But just strive to be the best brother you can be, the best son you can be. Call your dad, man. When was the last time you called your dad? Dad, I love you. Just want to say that, man. Your parents aren't going to be here forever. Things like that matter very much, because you might have had a disagreement with your parents and you haven't spoken to them in months, or for some people, it may be years. And at the back of your mind, you're always like, at some point, I'm going to have to repair this conflict that I have with them at some point. What if, God forbid, tomorrow you get a phone call and someone tells you your dad's dead? We found him in his apartment or whatever, dead. I mean, how's that going to make you feel, man? Is earning an extra 10 grand a year going to fill the void that you'll experience hearing that your dad's dead? Do you know what I mean, guys? I mean, it's perspective, man. It's perspective. So think about that. Hookup culture, constantly having sex with women that you'll never see again. Yeah, in the moment, busting nuts feels great. I won't disagree with you. But you want that deeper connection with that girl that will cook you a meal after you've had sex with her, right? That will talk with you all night about future plans, and, that would want to listen to you, and, right? Things like that. What do you think I should be doing in order to get rid of chronic insomnia? Well, that sounds like a medical issue, if I'm being honest, brother. I mean, chronic meaning what? You only sleep an hour a night? There might be an issue behind that. How do you speak so eloquently? I appreciate that, brother. I mean, I made a video about that on Patreon, actually. So that's going to be my plug again. Patreon.com/the top 3%. Join the community. There's already 22 people that have joined the community, and I posted a video earlier about communication. I'm from Algeria. I've been watching you since 2021, but my problem, I was just a consumer. I never applied the information. Well, that's it, brother. You got to apply the info, man. If the info isn't applied, it's practically worthless. The Patreon is, hang on, let me show you. Let me plug it in at the bottom. I don't know if you can post a link on here. That's the link right there. Oh, yeah, you can post a link. Oh, isn't that fantastic? Ali, also, these guys, there is a big difference between a freelancer and a registered entrepreneur with a registered business. Oh, tell these guys there is a big difference. You got to start somewhere. I mean, a lot of us want to skip to being a CEO of a company. It's okay to be doing some freelance stuff on the side before. I mean, you got to start somewhere. It's that mindset of entitlement. I want to be a CEO. You know, I don't want to have to work for a small amount of money in the beginning. I want to be the top boss. Yeah, well, you got to fucking start somewhere. You got to charge a smaller amount to begin with. Over time, you can increase your prices. You got to become more valuable with time. People will pay you based on the value you provide to the marketplace, not because, oh, I'm a good person. Yeah, fantastic. I'm glad you're a good person. But it's about the value you provide. Can I start learning to trade with $1,000? You can start learning how to trade for $1,000. I mean, there's several courses that you can buy out there. I have my own, of course. So I'm always going to plug my own course on my website, AliBen-Hariz.com, where I teach day trading step by step. There's a lot of approaches as well when it comes to day trading. But it's about picking someone and then learning from them. Thank you for calling me your top student. I appreciate it a lot. Would not have been possible without the course. Thank you, brother. Well, there you go, guys. There's a live testimonial. 6-figure dropshipping on the profile is cringe. Yeah, well, it's corny the way some of these guys market on Instagram. You know, you learn new things every day in day trading. I mean, look, learning is something you do forever. You never stop learning. However, from a book that I read many years ago called Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas, a lot of people mistake learning more about the market to becoming a better trader. And this applies to other aspects of life as well. Sometimes we think the more I learn about nutrition, the better my physique will be. Not necessarily. Sometimes you can learn more information that just fucks your mind completely, confuses you. It can actually make you worse, right? So it's the same when it comes to trading. A lot of people think, well, the more strategies I learn, the more money I'm going to make. That's not how it works. You could learn a strategy that confuses your mind. Maybe the first strategy was working fine, and then you fucked it by learning someone else's strategy, and now you're confused. So it's not always the case where the more you learn, the better you'll be. Sometimes less is more. This is why with my day trading course, I keep it simple. I could go into so many different avenues and teaching different concepts, but it's too much noise. It's too much confusion. Keep it simple. Yes, Omar. Hola, Mexico. Man, I need to learn Spanish, man. I really do. Ali, do people respect your profession in trading? Absolutely. Look, people will always respect you for having done something yourself. You know, everyone could say, I went to uni, because everyone else does it, right? But when you learn a skill set yourself, when I say yourself, I don't mean you taught yourself how to do it, but you were proactive enough to go out there and buy a course and meet the right people. People respect that. And especially when you say 5 years later, I'm still doing it. Because so many people fiddle around with different courses and different ways of making money for years. Now, I'm a fan in the beginning. If you're a young guy and you don't know what you want to do, yeah, go out there and try different things out for a year at a time, not 3 weeks at a time. Give it 6 months to a year, see if it works for you. But then you got to pick something at some point. And I picked trading many years ago, and I stuck with it. I knew at the back of my mind, Ali, there's also dropshipping, there's also Amazon, there's also this. I knew that. But I knew if I kept looking at other things, I'd take my focus away. Should you stick to one mentor in trading? It helps. It certainly helps. I tried the whole, learn this guy's strategy, then that guy's strategy, then that guy. Trust me, my brain was fucking fried. I don't have the ability to focus on 1,000 things at once. So you got to pick one person and learn their approach. That's how to do it, man. How's life going on your side, Ali? I hope you and your family are well. Much love from South Africa. Thank you, Emilio, man. Appreciate that, brother. Very kind of you, man. I love everyone in South Africa, man. What a country. What a country. Left an impression on me. I want to go back again. I want to go to Cape Town. What do you do when you feel demotivated? Well, I no longer have that conversation with myself about motivation. It's discipline for me. When I was young, yeah, I wanted to get motivated. Motivate me. I don't do this motivation bullshit anymore. For me, it's discipline. You gotta get it done. You gotta get it done. There's no more debating with yourself. Well, do I feel like it? Am I motivated today? Even if I'm not motivated, even if I feel like shit, it has to get done. Has to get done, regardless of how I feel. Fuck feelings. Feelings will let you down. If you operate on your feelings, you'll never be successful. You'll be volatile as fuck. You need to stay locked in. Your emotions need to be fucking locked in. Yes, Abra, man, look at that beautiful big orange donation. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you. The trade saved my life. Since I've joined, I have a community now of support. I make decent money while learning a skill that is essential, making plans to travel to other countries. Amazing, brother. That's what we love to hear, man. I wish you more prosperity in 2024. Thank you. Thank you. Man, I'm loving how positive the community is, man. Appreciate you guys. Ali, brother, I've been on self-improvement for a lot of time, but still being on porn and relapsing again is making me hate myself. And finally now, I just feel like I can't beat this addiction. Well, you can. You can. Believe me, you can. You got to go another day. In fact, I haven't announced this shit, actually. I've got something to tell you guys. This morning, I had a interview with the BBC about porn. It was a phone one. It's part of a series they're producing, and they came across one of my TikToks talking about pornography and the damages of pornography on young men. And they asked me for my opinion on these things, on this topic. Now, I didn't say busting gallons all over yourself. Obviously, it's the BBC, so I have to be very professional. But they asked me what my thoughts were, and I shared them. And towards the end of that telephone interview, I said that, you know, men need to remember that they can overcome this addiction. There is light at the end of the tunnel. It's not all doom and gloom. Okay, someone said BBC. I see what you're trying to do there, right? Get your fucking mind out the gutter, right? But there is light at the end of the tunnel. If you're breathing, if you've got life in your body, you can overcome this addiction. You absolutely can. You absolutely can. As long as you're doing what you can do. If you're out of the house, ask yourself genuinely. Don't chat shit. Ask yourself genuinely. Are you out of the house? Are you working a job? After your job, are you hitting boxing training? Are you at the gym? Do you have a social life of abundance? Are you meeting your friends, catching up, or are you a lonely fucker? And sometimes it's because you're being lazy. It's not because you don't have friends. Everybody likes to resort to the negative straight away. Ali, I don't have friends. Yeah, you do. When was the last time you called them? Right? Come on, man. You got to keep it real with yourself. Don't lie. Some people love feeling sorry for themselves. Get rid of this victim mentality. Oh, you know, I have no friends, Ali. You're just enjoying being a victim. Believe me, some people enjoy it. Some people enjoy someone saying, oh, no, come here, you. Oh, you don't want to be that guy. You're not a little kid. Kids, we do this for kids, right? Well, oh, come here. You know, let me cuddle, you know, let me hold you. Tell me what's wrong, you know, but you're a grown man now. You can't continue feeling sorry for yourself. Can you give me specific advice on how I can take trading to the next level and replace my 9 to 5? Well, if you've mastered a strategy and you've back tested that strategy properly and you've got a good amount of data, just so that you guys know I preach what I practice, I've got a trading journal that I just recently bought off Amazon. I should probably release my own one. You know, I don't get paid to promote this one, but, you know, I'm going through this journal again. I'm back testing again just to refine my skill sets. And once you've got a strategy on lock and you've learned it, the next stage is to apply for funding. Start off with a small funded account, 10,000. Prove that you can get a payout, because if you're not getting a payout, if you're not passing the assessment, it's probably because you're doing you're engaging in some self-sabotaging activities. So you got to receive feedback by putting yourself in an environment where you're testing your ability. So apply for funding is the next step. The smallest account possible. Don't go for a 200,000 or a 500,000 account, because they cost quite a bit. But prove that you can grow an account by 8 to 10% in a month, and then take it from there. What should a guy do if the girl he likes is dating another guy? Should he wait or move on? Never wait. Ever. I'll be on the sidelines, and when you're ready, you just let me know. Come on, man. Have some self-respect. You're never going to wait. Never. You're not going to be on the sidelines, a super sub. Once she's done with the other guy and he's, done his thing, you're there. Oh, so how's your day? Come on, you don't want to be that guy. There's plenty of women out there, plenty of women. Remember what I said in that video once, guys? Choose a woman that chooses you. Choose a woman that chooses you. Never be in that gray area where, I don't know, does she like me? Does she not like me? Don't ever be in that gray area. Have some self-respect. I want to be nice to her. I want to do everything for her, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel right sometimes. I've got a girl, but I want to love her, but it's like I'm different every day. One day I'm in love with her, the second day. Well, I mean, you got to pick. I mean, you got to choose. Do you love her or do you not love her? How is she showing up? Is she respectful? Is she not respectful? But at the same time, you can't have a Disney-like mentality. Love isn't always, rosy and lovely, Sometimes your partner's going to piss you off, right? But as long as they're not outright disrespecting you and making your life a living hell, if they're not doing that, then just fucking, it's life, man. You're not always going to be jumping up and down with pure glee and joy. And, man. That's something that women need to learn. Because women have this mentality that love is perfect and it's sensational and it's just amazing and he just gives me butterflies, and it's not always going to be this way. Thank you, Patrick. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you. Is fapping and sex the same thing? Nah. See, busting nuts is not a bad thing, fellas. For those of you that are thinking, oh my God, Ali, I busted. If you're in a relationship and you're busting nuts, good for you, man. It means you're in a relationship that excites you sexually. You're with your partner, you have a great sex life. Cool. Do whatever you want. You can be busting a nut whilst doing a backflip for all I care, right? But if you're busting nuts all over yourself whilst holding your phone and looking at your own reflection in between the scene, and you see yourself with your dry lips just like, come on, man, that's a sad sight. That is sad. Do you know what I mean? So come on, man. Thank you for the great work, brother. Following you all the way from Kenya. Amazing, man. Brother, when I come to Kenya, I want to be taken on a safari. I want to go and see the Serengeti. I want friends everywhere, man, all around the world. I want to see some places. I want to develop some connections. Hey, Sam, how you doing, brother? I'm 23. I know I have to be disciplined. We men have that aggression and be masculine, but it gets lonely. It does. I mean, sometimes that loneliness is extended for a unnecessary period of time. And I say unnecessary because, like I said earlier, some guys just complain about having no friends when they're just unsociable. When was the last time you called your friend? You said, hey, man, how you doing? Let's catch up. When was the last time? If you're just sitting there waiting for your friends to come and go to your house and pick you up and take you out, come on, man, you got to be honest. I went to summer camp 2 years ago and wait, what the fuck? I feel like I can trust you. I went to summer camp 2 years ago and what the fuck is going on there? I ain't going to read that out loud. Oh, shit. I only speak Arabic and English. Although I want to learn Italian, I want to learn Spanish. I probably get more than what you ever dreamt of. When I see you, I will give you your flowers and kiss your forehead. Man, I feel like a king now, man. I need a fucking crown. But no, I appreciate that, brother. Thank you. You know, give yourself the credit. Ultimately, I'm not here to receive all the praise. And, you know, I may have said something that has helped you along your journey. But if you did the work, you got to give yourself the credit, man. You got to give yourself the credit. I do have friends, but I like being alone. If you like being alone, that's a different story. But even then, from time to time, you need human interaction. Emilio, since 2016, 17. But I was shit in the beginning. I fucked around for a couple of years. I wasted time jumping on different YouTube videos, learning different things. I bought a few courses. I confused myself too much. So I extended the learning curve for far too long. So this is why I tell people, just pick one person and just learn from them. This may sound cynical, but I feel as though everyone wants to be the aggressor rather than a victim. Oh, I would disagree with that. I think most people enjoy being victims because there's no accountability this way. They don't feel like they have to do anything. When you're a victim, you put the blame on someone else so that you don't have to do anything. Most people don't want to do the work to change, which is why they sit there and they complain. Also, what's the best way to surround yourself with like-minded people? I feel like I keep meeting people who I don't need around me. Well, it's by doing things that you want to do. For example, boxing. That's a good place to meet like-minded people. Now, they may not be like-minded in terms of making money. This is the thing I want you guys to remember. Like-minded doesn't mean exactly the same as you. I mean, to meet someone who's very similar to you is rare, but they are out there. Someone who, for example, may enjoy boxing, making money, doing this, it likes cars as well, supports the same football team as you, whatever. People like that you can meet, and you're usually closer with these people. However, just because someone is a fucking beast at boxing but is broke in real life, it doesn't mean he's someone that you can't interact with. They don't have to be on your level in terms of everything. I have friends that I only keep around me to laugh, just to have a good time and just to forget about, you know, certain things. I just laugh with and have a good time. And then some people I talk with about progress and making money and YouTube and things like that. So have friends that are useful in different areas, you know. But it's okay if you have a friend who's funny and is good to be around and is reliable, trustworthy, but he's a little bit chubby. It's fine. I mean, you can advise him and you can say, bro, come on, reduce the body fat, all sorts of stuff. You can want someone to do better in life, but don't be naive and expecting that somebody will be exactly the same way as you. You are incredibly charismatic, brother. If you were like a Hollywood actor, people would love you. In cinemas near you this summer, one man in a world of adventure. Exactly. I remember when you had 1,000 subscribers and you promoted your YouTube on TikTok Live. Yeah, well, you know what? I did gain some subscribers from TikTok, but I got to give YouTube the credit for growing for promoting the videos. Because I remember I posted a video once about NoFap, and it grew my channel quite significantly. But I still believe the channel has a long way to go. That's why I asked you guys about the different types of content that you'd like to see me making. I want to spice up the channel a little bit. I want to bring you guys different types of content. Your beard has come a long way. Well, I mean, it's not perfect, but it's my bid. You know what I'm saying? And I like it. Ali, we often forget life is too wide and big to plan and strategize for just to enjoy the moment. Yeah, I mean, obviously enjoy the moment. There's nothing wrong with planning and being strategic with how you move. As long as you don't get lost in that, as long as you don't get overwhelmed by the process. You know, my mindset is it will take as long as it needs to take. People tell me, Ali, you should have way more subscribers, which I'm grateful. Of course, I'm grateful when someone says that because they see a lot of value in what I share. But I know that things will happen in due time. It will happen when it happens, you know. If I'm doing everything I should do, then eventually things will kick off. I found out about you on TikTok, by the way, a while ago. You came up on my For You page and the comment section was talking about your soothing voice. I appreciate that, man. Ali, ever thought of getting other self-improvement YouTubers on a podcast? Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, absolutely, for sure. I mean, that's the whole point of the podcast, is to have conversations with different types of people. So, yeah, I mean, if the opportunity arises and I can get someone like Hamza on, and, you know, I know there's First Man as well. There's a few other people that I could get on potentially. What do you think about reading books other than typical self-help? Like philosophy or novels? Well, I think reading books is still a good thing to do, even if it's not a self-help or a non-fiction, because of the different words that you come across. You know, if you want to improve your vocabulary, reading helps. You're like, oh, I've never fucking heard of that word before. You know, splendacious. Oh, interesting, right? Stupendous. Absolutely stupendous confectionery, right? You see all these different words, you're like, it expands your vocab. There's this girl that I work with at my 9 to 5. I have a crush on her, but every time I see her being shy, I am being shy, and it's very hard for me to go. Well, what's the worst case scenario, brother? Just remember, what's the worst case scenario? If you say hi to her and, you know, you tell her how you feel, I think you're absolutely stunning. What's the worst case? I mean, you've made her day better because you've complimented her. And if she says something like, well, sorry, you know, thank you, but I have a boyfriend or this and that, it is what it is. You're not going to lose a leg because of that, right? You're still going to be fine. So always ask yourself, what's the worst case? What am I actually afraid of here? You know, in most cases, when you see a beautiful woman in the street, you'll probably never see her again unless she's a neighbor or she works somewhere that you go to quite frequently. You'll never see her again, especially in places like London or New York on the subway or whatever. If you see a girl that's absolutely beautiful, you know, and you say hi to her and you tell her, hey, I think you're absolutely beautiful. None of this cheesy pickup line stuff. If you were this, I would do this. Yeah, none of that shit, right? But if you say, hey, I think you're absolutely beautiful, yeah, and you start speaking to her and she says, hey, thank you. I mean, I've done this in London on the tube. There was this Russian girl once, and I told her, hey, I think you're absolutely beautiful. And she says, oh, thank you. You know, I'm married. And I was like, oh, fair enough. You know, have a good day, right? At the end of it, I feel good because I did something that I was nervous to do. And I made someone's day better by telling them that they're very beautiful, you know? So what's the worst case? What is the worst case? Well, Mark, that's quite a difficult question to answer for everybody. And the reason why is because people have strengths in different areas. Self-awareness is always important. You know, what are you potentially good at that you can monetize right now? Some people, they're good at making things physically. Maybe they're artsy and they're good with creating little things, you know, little wooden, I don't know, pieces or whatever you can put in the living room. Whatever. People have different strengths. What are your strengths and how can you monetize your strengths? Now, for some of you, you have no fucking clue. Maybe you don't do much right now, in which case, what interests you? I always say, forget this whole follow your passion bullshit, because I believe you get passionate at something when you get really good at it. When you're shit in the beginning, you're not going to be passionate, right? I wasn't passionate about trading when I first got into it. I mean, it's just a fucking bunch of lines on a screen, right? But you get passionate when the results come in. So what I would say is find something that interests you. For me, it was trading. I found trading interesting. I wasn't raging with passion, right? But I was like, oh, the fuck's this shit, right? I started looking into, so this is, all right, okay, this is the market up and down. I started learning more about it. And then I started getting better at it. And then things progressed. Yes, Jack. Guys, we have an absolute superstar in the building. I just want to say this. I'm a massive fan of this young man. His growth has been absolutely brilliant. It has been a pleasure to witness. I think you're touching on something like 400,000 or something, brother, on YouTube. What a guy. I just want to give him absolute credit for the success that he's accomplished. Jack, I was actually talking to you about you today to a friend. I don't know if people can click on your channel and see. I don't know if they can click and it will take them straight to your channel. But guys, check out his channel and subscribe for God's sake if you haven't already. What a guy! And I hope it is Jack. I hope it is Jack. It's not Jake, is it? Because Jake, I know, is with an E, right? I know you got that beautiful Australian accent, brother. But don't know if it's Jack. It's not Jake. It's Jack. I know it's Jack. What a guy. He's winning so strongly, right? So bigly. What do you say? I remember sitting in the car park, hiding at work, listening to your videos in the car during my heartbreak phase. Your videos helped me a lot. I'm happy to hear that, man. Happy to hear that. Well, listen, I love seeing people win. I love seeing people win, and I love seeing people impact other people's lives for the better. And Jack's certainly doing that. And someone else's success does not take away from yours. This is something that I want you guys to remember forever. Just because somebody else is winning, it doesn't mean you're losing. Remember that. So whenever you see one of your friends doing well or a stranger doing well, always applaud them, because one day that could be you. That could be you one day. And if you work hard, that will be you. And you don't want someone saying, "Oh, look at that fucking idiot. How the fuck did he get that?" And you don't want people looking at you in a negative way, because it's not a good feeling. You know, it's not a good feeling when somebody talks shit. Absolutely, my brother. Listen, we're gonna organize something for sure, because you have a tremendous amount of value to share. So we'll definitely get a podcast set up. Yes, Andy, we spoke on a call a while ago talking about my first boxing match, and I sent you the results. Yes, Ellis, come on, man. I don't forget, man. What a beast as well, Ellis. Guys, Ellis, absolute monster. You know, that boxing fight that he had, and I remember the passion at the end, brother. I remember that. Man, I was so happy to see that, brother. I don't want to take credit for your win, you know what I'm saying? But I'll be in your corner anytime. $20.1. Oh, sweet, man. I didn't even notice. Be Young is so talented. Oh, man. What are your thoughts on investing 2 years into a degree that will make you earn more while you pursue your real passion? 26, by the way. Well, 26 is still very young. And I said this to my younger brother, who's 22. I told him, listen, whilst you're developing your entrepreneurial skills, because to be an entrepreneur doesn't mean you suddenly know how to run a business. Like, you need to get better at being an entrepreneur. If anything, it's harder being an entrepreneur than it is working for somebody else. So things will take time. And let me just tell you this, it will usually take longer than you think. And I know that sounds negative to a lot of you guys who are like, but I want it to happen in 6 months. I know. Trust me, I've been there. I wanted the results yesterday. But it will take longer than you expect in most cases. So have a good job whilst you're building something on the side. You don't have to work a dead-end job and then do something on the side. If anything, if you can get paid more money during the day, that will help you fund your entrepreneurial dreams. You'll be able to buy a nicer camera quicker. You'll be able to fly out to meet the right people that you need to grow your business. So just, there's nothing wrong with getting good at your job. As long as what you do after work is productive, then eventually you'll be your own boss and you'll leave the job completely. Brother, what is your obsession with wanting me to say that phrase to the BBC? I can't say it to them. Been trading for 2 years, cracking it this year. Yes, Zakaria, man, I'm rooting for you, brother. Ali, my team, Man City, will win 4 in a row. Not if United have something to say about that. We won't do shit. But we'll see about that. We'll see. That's unless you get relegated for your charges. 114 charges, right? We'll see about that. It's Portuguese. Hola, mi nome é Claxi. That's your name. Nice. Is it moi nome? Hola, my nome é Claxi Supo. That C is silent, isn't it? I know that C is silent. I'm happy to help, my brother. Happy to help. Guys, don't forget to like this live so the algorithm can do its job. Love the work you do. Been watching you for over a year now, and I've loved to see the growth only up from here. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. You're looking incredible today, brother. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it, man. I've got the black pimp jacket out. You know what I'm saying? This is my second pimp jacket. I've got the blue one, which everyone loves. Ali, how long does it take to get 1,000 subs on YouTube? Currently on 214. Well, that's something I can't really answer because it depends on your input and also your niche, your charisma in front of camera. There's there's various factors that come into equation here. However, I want you to detach yourself from the outcome. Enjoy making videos, man. When I first started making videos, and I still enjoy them, by the way, but the only thing at the back of my mind was I want to have fun. I wasn't worried about, oh my God, when is it going to happen? I just made the videos because I enjoyed making them. And some of you that have been subscribers for quite a while, you'll see that I used to have my coffee with me, with my long hair, I used to sip on it, talk to you guys. It was almost like a daily journal for me to share my thoughts on things and some of the things that I've learned. I was detached completely from the outcome. And I've coached guys on private one-to-one sessions who were aspiring YouTubers. And I told them, listen, you got to detach yourself from the outcome. You got to make the videos consistently. And unfortunately, most of the guys that I told this to quit after a couple of months. Because this is the thing. If you don't have a reason, you're only here for a season. If it's just, I know that loads of people are getting views and I want to jump on it. I want to do this. I want to do that. If the reason isn't strong enough, you won't last. Ali, you look skinny. Why don't you have a bulking phase like you do the cutting phase? Well, what am I looking to achieve from bulking right now? First of all, I'm 85 kilograms, so I'm not skinny. I'm actually a little bit on the heavier side. I'm about 13, 14% body fat at the moment. I'm pretty happy. I'm strong in the gym. I know a lot of people go on this bulking cutting phase for quite a while. But for me, it's not really a goal of mine, to bulk again and then cut again. No one should be a slave to anything. You can't tell. Oh, yeah, his podcast is not hard if you're good at talking. Well, you see, you say that, but when you start making videos, especially in the early stages, I mean, you're going to be crap. I'll be honest, right? It's weird. You're in a room by yourself. You're talking to a camera and you're trying to be charismatic. You're trying to convey your personality. People think, oh, yeah, making YouTube videos, piss easy. I mean, technically what you're doing is easy. You're just turning on a camera and talking to it. But you have to be interesting enough for people to want to stay on the video and consume your other videos and like and support the cause and all sorts of stuff, right? And especially podcasting. You know, I'll be honest with you guys. Before I recorded my first episode, I was like, how the fuck am I going to keep this convo going for 2 hours, 3 hours, you know, and share a lot of value as well with the listener in mind. I'm putting myself in your shoes. I want you guys to listen to the podcasts and be like, man, this is actually pretty valuable shit. So I had to really think about that. And, you know, things developed with time. You know, I started thinking of better questions, but also what makes a podcaster good, in my opinion, are the follow-up questions. So I may ask a question like, for example, you know, what got you into cutting hair, being a barber? You know, shout out to my latest guest, Isa, who I interviewed. He's a barber. Yeah, the first question is generic, right? And then the follow-up question, so why did that happen? You know, that is what makes a podcaster good at what they do. Because some people, all they will do, and I've seen podcasts before with a person who's interviewing is like, he's like this. So tell me why you did this, and then thanks for answering. And then I also want to ask you, you know, they're just robotic with it. So there is a skill set associated with podcasting for sure. What's going on here? I don't know. Oh, we have a new person on the live, yeah? I never knew YouTube did that. I thought YouTube only showed your live to your current subscribers. Welcome. My name is Ali. I'm a men's self-improvement coach, podcaster, content creator, media personality, actor. Nah, I'm joking. I'm still welcome to the channel. My life started to turn to shit trying to pick up a girl and I have a bad habit of ruining my day when I wake up late because I feel bad. Well, shit happens. Shit happens, man. Sometimes you wake up a little bit too late. Don't write off the rest of the day. I always say this. Just because you had a shit start to the day, maybe you busted nuts all over yourself, don't tell yourself, oh, well, now it's ruined, you know, and then you just eat whatever you want and then you bust again. Don't ruin the rest of the day because of one bad start to the day. Just be like, fuck it, man. I relapsed. It is what it is. Go shower. Get all of that fucking semen off of your body. Right? Get changed. Put on a good suit or, I don't know, a nice leather jacket and some jeans. Head to a cafe. Get your laptop out. Start working. Right? Don't write off the rest of the day because of a bad start. That deep American voice is so funny. Oh, man. I love those American police documentaries, man. 2:48 a.m. Deputy Sheriff John Mayer visits the scene, and what he sees next will blow your mind. And you're like, oh shit, what does he see? In Minneapolis, 2:45, the chase unravels. Yes, my brother, appreciate your support, man. Appreciate your support. And he's currently working as a mechanical engineer, interested in project management. What do you think I should do? Well, try it. See if project management is something that you'll enjoy more. You're still a young guy, right? You can make changes. Hey, please transform his voice. Optimus Prime. Currently trading the core strategy on a 5K funded. Amazing, brother. If you can trade a 5K account successfully, you can trade a 50K account successfully. If you apply the same principles, right? The strategy doesn't change, whether you're trading 500K or 5K. The only thing that changes is the psychology aspect of things. What is your advice in actually striving while being a 17-year-old? Well, you're not going to be 17 forever. This is one of the most important pieces of advice I want to share to a lot of you guys who are between the ages of 16 to 21. Okay? You guys are in a certain period of your life where you're still kids. I'm just going to keep it. You're still a child. Between the ages of 16 to 21, you're still a child, right? Don't lose sight of that. Don't forget that. You won't be 16 or 17 forever. So don't overwhelm yourself with figuring your life out entirely, right? At that age. Enjoy being 16, 17, and things will work out eventually. Now, of course, if you want to take care of your health and, of course, do all of that stuff, that's great. The earlier you can do that, the better. But don't feel this sense of pressure that, oh, my God, I got to get my life figured out. Man, when I was 16, I was fucking busting nuts everywhere. I was outside in the garden playing with earthworms and playing football until the sunset. You know, I wasn't thinking about success and self-improvement and all sorts of shit. I'm currently 20, trying to be successful financially before I finish uni. Is this realistic? Well, a goal like that, look, it's ambitious, right? You want to be financially free before the end of university, but don't be attached to that goal. So if it doesn't work out, you're not going to feel devastated, right? You know, be ambitious. Of course, when you set a big goal and you give yourself a short period of time to achieve it, you work faster and you get more done, naturally speaking. But it's the detachment from the end goal. Detach it. It's like when you speak to a girl, when you walk up to a girl and you say, hey, I think you're beautiful. If you're detached from the outcome, you're not going to feel devastated at the end of it, right? Sometimes to be successful and prosperous, you have to let certain people go. Yeah, absolutely. And you got any advice for a 23-year-old who still stays with parents? I'm fortunate enough to have parents who are patient and support my goals. Brother, if you've got parents that are supportive, then stay with them. This whole mentality that you need to leave by this age is stupid. For what? Just because, oh, my friends might think I'm a loser if I stay with my parents. If you're staying with your parents and you're making moves, you're learning a skill set, you're creating content, you're being productive. You're not just sitting in your room all day just jacking off. If you're being productive with your time and you're helping your parents out, man, it's a win-win. You know, I love my parents. And being near them is important to me, right? If you're being productive, the conversation is completely different. If you're not doing anything with your life, then you need to keep it real with yourself and you need to say, hey, man, pick it up. You can't be 30 years old and at home doing nothing with your life, all right? So if you're being productive, you've got supportive, loving parents, man, stay as long as possible until things kick off. Once you do really well, and, you know, an opportunity arises where maybe you can move to a different area, then yeah, if it's going to excel your career even further, and yeah, take advantage of it. How did you support Israel? No, I do not support a government that commits acts of genocide. Absolutely not. Ali, you got any advice on what to do when the urge comes? As I said earlier, the urge is fine. The urge is fine. You're a human being. You're a man with testosterone. Getting urges is fine. But you run the urges. Don't let the urges run you. I absolutely like Jewish people, for sure. I don't hate Jewish people because a government is committing acts of violence. And at the same time, I condemn any terror group that kills innocent people. Absolutely. But I'm not going to sit on the sidelines and pretend that senseless murder isn't being committed. I mean, I can see this shit everywhere, all over my timeline. So any innocent death saddens me, especially when it's children. When a child is killed at the age of 2 years old, 3 years old, it's devastating, man. It really is. But I love people from all different backgrounds, whether you're Jewish, Muslim, Christian, atheist. For me, we're human beings. We're human beings, and I have no reason to hate another human being. Hate is a strong emotion. Unless someone has done something to me personally, I don't see any reason to hate anybody. Ali, give me the best open line into chat conversation. What do you mean? To speak to a girl? I hope you're doing good yourself, Ali. It's easy for people to forget you're a person too. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I'm Libyan by ethnicity, but I live in the UK. Ali, was it difficult for you at the beginning of your self-improvement journey? Absolutely. It's still difficult. I'm still improving. You know, I've made this very, very clear. I'm still a student of the game. The learning never stops. You always learn. I'm 28 now, and I have a long way to go. At 38, God willing, if I'm still alive by then, I'll still have a lot of learning to do at 38. You know, I haven't had a child yet, so I'm inexperienced as a father. So when I have my first child, I'm going to have to learn how to become a father. And then obviously over time, I'll learn to become a better father, right? Things like that. Thanks for the donation, brother. Appreciate your support, man. Glad you're finding the videos helpful. Do you like what kind of questions are these, man? No, I'm not a fan of the devil. No, I don't like the guy. You would be a great father. I appreciate that. Kian, didn't you say I'm a bad influence just a couple of minutes ago? Or did you say that to somebody else? Oh, man. You'll be a good father, man. There's no question in that. Your intentions seem pure. I appreciate that, man. I really do appreciate that. Ali, your Batman voice is spot on. Where is she? It's the Liam Neeson one that I can do the best. Actually, wait. I don't know who you are. Imagine my face wasn't there, right? Be honest with me. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you don't let my daughter go, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you. Right, where's the contract? Come on. Send me the contract now. Opinion on hookup culture. I'm not a fan. Because the way I see hookup culture is you're using somebody else to masturbate is what it is. It's low vibration, surface level connections. I bumped into you on Leather Lane a few weeks back. Yeah, I do remember, brother. I do remember. I was getting a nice steak sandwich. Thanks for being here, brother. And you pop up like an angel. Well, thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that. I know people live life differently, although I always preach marriage. I think it's a sacred connection between two people. I've seen a lot of my friends fuck up their life by engaging in hookup culture. I've got a friend in particular who has a kid with two different women, and those two kids were born from one-night stands, or they were a consequence of him engaging in one-night stands. And his life is all over the place because he wasn't sexually disciplined. you know? See you later, brother. Take care. So, you know, you got to be sexually disciplined. Brother, please stop spamming the chat. I don't want to have to remove you from it. I saw your message. Guys, any spam, I'm just going to keep it real with you. Any spam will get filtered out. I can ban people from the lives. I don't want to do that. But if I see that you're trying to spam intentionally, then unfortunately I will kick you out. I will fine you. That's a good question. What do I think about gaining a following to get rich? It's not necessary. Some people have skill sets that are better suited in other avenues, other disciplines of life, although you can monetize attention. Absolutely. And a lot of people could take advantage of social media to make more money. But a lot of people are also afraid of being seen by others on social media and building a following and things like that, right? So it's not for everyone, although it's certainly very, very lucrative if you take advantage of it and you're patient enough to see the fruits of your labor. It's a patience game. Guys, a quick reminder, the Patreon community, I'm going to post it in the chat again. If you want to join an exclusive community where I share exclusive content behind the scenes, then join the community. The community is right here. Yeah, see, the thing is with building a following, right, is people have the audacity of wanting to reap the rewards of having a large influence. I want to live a lifestyle where I can have a massive audience, travel the world, make a lot of money, do this, do that. They want to do all these fantastic things, but they do not want to be patient enough. They want it right now. It's an entitled mindset. I want it now. That's a child's mindset. When you say, no, you can't have the ice cream, it's getting too late. You have to go to sleep. No, I want it now. Come on, man. You got to be patient. And you got to do it for the right reasons. If your only reason is to make money, you won't do well. You'll quit, you'll give up. Do you believe in the concept of the way you make money is the same way you'll lose it in regards to illegal avenues? Well, I always say if it's not moral, legal, or ethical, it's not worth it. You'll get short-term reward, but the long-term is not a pretty situation. You'll be in deep trouble. Easy come, easy go, as they say. It's not worth it. Do not pursue anything illegal. It's like pornography. It's the same sort of concept. You get an immediate reward. You bust a lot of nuts in front of your laptop or whatever. But in the long run, you hate yourself because you feel like a loser. And a lot of these illegal streams will end up hurting you and potentially your family as well. So it's a very selfish thing to do. Especially when there are many legal ways of making money. They just take a little bit longer. Absolutely. Hey, man, I'm going to head out for school. Thanks for inspiring everyone every day, and the jacket is awesome. Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for jumping on. The second I realized my strength went down, I was constantly anxious and self-aware. I felt incredibly mentally weak and like a bitch, honestly. Well, yeah, that's what it does. It lowers your self-esteem. It makes you hate yourself. Nobody ever feels empowered after watching 4 hours of porn. You don't feel like the best version of yourself. I mean, would you want your family watching you watch porn, pleasuring yourself? Imagine someone was recording you the whole time whilst you were right there, you know, busting nuts. I mean, would you want that footage to be shown to the world? If the answer is absolutely not, well, then you should probably stop doing it, right? However, if you have sex with a beautiful woman, how do you feel at the end? Do you feel regretful? Oh, why did I do? No, you feel good. You feel like the fucking real deal. You feel like the boss. Man, I had a great session. You have a post, you know, a post-fuck interview. So how was it? Yeah, well, it was a good performance. You know, I went in there, I did my job, and very proud of the performance today. You know, you feel better about yourself. And I preach marriage. Eh? Don't be going around engaging in hookup culture here. Take care, James. See you soon, brother. Performance. With your own lady, I'm saying, right? Not to be televised. Don't get it wrong. We're not going to televise it to anyone else, right? It's private. It's an analogy, all right? Why do some friends want to see you do good but no better than them? Well, some people are insecure. That's what it is. It stems from insecurity. And also because they don't want to do the work. So when they see you do the work and you start winning, you take away their excuses. Because normally they'd be like, well, you know, he's just better than me, whatever. But when you came from the same neighborhood, you take away their excuses. You grew up in the same area. You come from a similar background. What excuse can they come up with now as to why they're not where they want to be? You've done well. That's what it is. That's why strangers will usually support you more than your own friends. Yes, Edward. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for being on here, man. Appreciate the kind words. It's nice we got a safe community to talk about this stuff because no one is going to discuss this with their close ones. So thanks, Ali. I'm happy to help, brother. Happy to help. In fact, that was one of the questions I got asked today by the BBC. They asked me, you know, why do you think a lot of men don't open up about their addictions with porn? And I just told them, I said, hey, listen, there's a stigma associated with it, and a lot of men feel ashamed, and that's why they don't talk to anyone about it. But it's a real addiction, just like being addicted to alcohol or, you know, class A drugs or whatever. You know, people need support, they need help. Yes, I had a telephone interview this morning on the BBC, which will be produced in a documentary about the dangers of pornography. Yes, brother, I do have a group. It's called the Top 3%. It's on Patreon. If you go to Patreon and you search the top, I did post a link if you scroll up to the community where I post exclusive videos. I do exclusive live webinars on there as well. So if you want to join the community, there's already about 30 members now, I think, in the community. So if you want to support the cause, feel free to join. I wanted to make it as affordable as possible for as many people as well. So it's only $20. Why do you think we don't do what we want to do? I know I'm super good at that thing and I want to produce content, but I still don't do it. And I end up sleeping and procrastinating. Well, I mean, there's various reasons. A, you are afraid of the criticism that will come from beginning. Maybe you don't want your friends to say, why are you making videos? You look stupid. You know why? It could be that. It could be the fear of criticism from friends and family. It could be that you're overcomplicating the process unnecessarily. You want to wait until you have the right camera, until you have the right environment, until you... That was my one for a while. You know, I was making excuses such as, oh, I need to get the right camera. I need to get the right this. And I was delaying shit for so long. So I was using the perfectionist excuse. And I talk about how being a perfectionist is an excuse. It is. You know, I'm a perfectionist. No, you're a professional procrastinator. That's what you are. So that's the second reason, right? Maybe you don't know how to pursue it, but that's not usually the case for most people. Most people know how to start a YouTube channel, or they know how to do a lot of things. But another thing is you're waiting for the right time. You know, when the kids go to school, when this happens, there's never a right time. I hate this loop. I don't eat, I don't go out, and I always end up like this. I do the job for 7 days, and after 2-3 months, nothing happens. Are you saying you begin filming? I'm afraid of the opinion of others. I'm not afraid of the opinion of others, and I have the equipment as well. Well, then, the reality is, Edward, you don't want it bad enough. It's a want for you. It's not a need. You know, Tony Robbins says it. Our life will change when the things that we want to happen have to happen. When the shoulds turn into musts. See, a lot of people are interested in success, but there's a difference between being interested and being committed. A lot of you are interested. Oh, I want to be successful. Yeah, I want to have a penthouse. Yeah, I want to. You're interested in the idea, but you're not committed to the idea of making it work. Some of you have tolerated mediocrity. You're okay with it. It's comfortable. And even though you may disagree and say, well, I'm not comfortable being broke, you are. Otherwise, you'll be doing something about it. I don't think you guys caught that right now. You're comfortable with your mediocrity because it's familiar. I'm going to say that one more time. You're comfortable with your mediocrity because it's familiar. And a lot of you guys, deep down inside, you don't feel like you deserve to make 10,000 a month, 20,000 a month. And so because you don't feel like you deserve it, you don't take the action. And this is why I said in my last 2 podcasts, in fact, the podcast I had with my lawyer friend, Vinay, I said that people need to familiarize themselves with wealth. They need to surround themselves with wealth. Go to the Rolls-Royce dealership. Go to a $5 million home. Experience what wealth looks like so that you can start to rewire your brain. Right? Maybe you grew up in a family that wasn't well off financially, and so you believe that you don't deserve wealth. Maybe your parents said money is the root of all evil, so you grow up feeling like money is evil. You know? So you need to change the way you look at things. There's always an underlying reason why you don't pursue something. You're broke, not me. I'm confused, Kian. One moment you compliment me, the other moment you talk shit. It's like that diss track that MGK did on Eminem. He said, is this a diss or a love? Is this a diss track or a love song? My energy is about it. No, you grew up poor. You have generational curses of what the fuck? Well, no negativity allowed, Kian. So unfortunately, you're going to have to go, brother. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye. Would you consider publishing a book in the future? Yeah, potentially. I mean, I'm nowhere near where I want to be to publish a book, but absolutely. In the future, I think a book is one of those legacy projects. It will live even after you're gone. Ali, you should go live more often and have to catch up with you one-to-one sometime. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that, man. Ali, is it normal to suffer mentally when on self-improvement? Like, I can tell you suffer more mentally when going through the hard stuff. Like, I can tell you suffer more mentally. What do you mean? I mean, it's normal to have setbacks. It's normal to feel down. You know, like I said, happiness is not the goal that you should strive for. Happiness is something that we've been told to pursue happiness. As long as you're happy. You know, girls get told this all the time. Oh, you know, you're not happy like you used to be, right? Happiness is not the right metric to measure success because life is hard. We have ups, we have downs, right? Even nature is chaotic. One moment, everything's hunky-dory and lovely. The next moment, there's a tsunami. There's an earthquake that kills thousands of people, right? It's just the nature of life, man. So of course you're going to feel down. Hey, Ali, it's not just younger guys you're reaching with your videos. Your advice is very helpful, even for older guys like me. Love your content, brother. Appreciate it, bro. Thank you, man. Thanks for being a subscriber, brother. Appreciate your comment. Not you. Oh, okay. Nah, I understood. What are some books you read that really helped you through your journey? Well, there's a variety of books that touch on different topics. Where the Superior Man, Think and Grow Rich, How to Win Friends and Influence People, The One Thing, 4 Disciplines of Execution, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. There's a few different books. But I'll be honest with you, I'm not a book junkie right now. I don't read 3 or 4 books a week like a lot of people brag and claim that they do. I read to study a book. I study books now. I don't read them for the sake of reading them. So I'll read a chapter, or I'll study a chapter and then put the book away. And then maybe a couple of days later, I'll pick up another book, read a chapter, close it, because I don't want to get lost in the mindset of binge reading and not applying. Well, I mean, pornography triggers our innate desire for women. That's what it is. Right? And it's free for a reason. Have you ever asked yourself, why are these websites free? Because they want your soul. They want you to sit there feasting your eyes for hours. Because in those hours, you're not out there taking action. You're not out there making moves. You're not out there questioning things. You're just a numb, sedated animal who's playing with his willy for 4 hours. You know? Yanni, I've been fortunate enough to trade a decent amount of capital from my own money for a while. But funded accounts are definitely the path to go down for the majority of people, because you get access to a larger amount of capital. And just treat that money like you would an account that you funded yourself. So, for example, you want to buy a 100K account for £500. Just treat it as you trading £500. Don't worry about the 100K. Like, don't make it a bigger deal than it is. It's just a £500 account that you're trading. And if you lose 500, yes, it sucks. It's annoying, but you'll make 500 again very soon, right? Just don't let it overwhelm you. It's just a part of the process for you to become a better trader. Guys, make sure you join the Patreon community. I've got exclusive videos dropping for you guys. I've got a video dropping. I dropped a video today, and there's more dropping later this week. All right, members are joining the community on Patreon. It's patreon.com/the top 3%. Okay. You should post trading content. Well, I have a trading course. Where I teach people my approach to the market, trading psychology, my strategy. The details to that are on my website, alibenhariz.com. Ali, would you say you have to be the smartest to be successful? No. Cognitively, no. You don't have to be the smartest. You have to be great with numbers to become successful. If anything, some of the most successful people are technically some of the dumbest, because they dumb it down and do it. Sometimes you can be too smart for your own good. You just start finding, very specific reasons as to why it doesn't work out. I'm an expert. I know, based on the odds, on the probabilities. Sometimes you just need to be stupid enough to just do it, and it works out. So you don't have to be smart to be successful. Not at all. Not at all. Do you make these videos as you go, or do you record them in batches and post every day? I don't do batches. It's not authentic. I can't sit there and make 5 videos and post them all, I schedule them all now, because my ideas come from conversations I have with my friends, from books that I read. So I do things organically. Batching it just feels a little bit fake, in my opinion. Just feels like you're just trying to get rid of it, trying to get it out the way. I don't have slots. I just record whenever. You know, I think of the idea 10, 15 minutes before the video, and I just make it. Ali, did you pursue coding early on? Nah, and I never pursued coding, no. When's the Harley Davidson coming, brother? Well, I haven't thought about that, to be fair, in a while. The Sportster 48. But for sure, at some point, man, it's got to be in the garage. I'd love to have you on my friend's podcast if you're ever down to do. Who's your friend? That's it. Guys, I just want to also mention that with the trading course, I may take it offline very soon and make it exclusive. So it's not something that's just available to a lot of people. I may make it offline and to a certain number of people. So if you want to lock in the price that it's currently at, then go to alibenhariz.com. And then for all the link in my Instagram bio or my TikTok bio to get access to it. Ali, you look like Mohammed Salah. Well, hopefully my hair isn't as dreadful as his, because I don't know what he's doing with his hair, but it's not very good. Well, the course is comprised of, God, how many videos are there now? I'm going to have to guess 20 or 30 videos. Some are half an hour, 40 minutes long. Some are 5 minutes. I like to break things down in a step-by-step manner just so that it's easy to digest. Bro, fucking hell, what is wrong with the wind today? My window's almost falling out. Your longer hair was better. You were different in a better way. Well, I liked my longer hair, but you know what? I like this hair as well. Good thing I can pull off both, right? What's your favorite Jim Rohn quote? Oh, that's a good one. You know what? I'd have to say, income does not far exceed personal development. I think that's my favorite Jim Rohn quote, although he says a lot of fantastic things. His hair looks like an electrocuted mop with moldy cabbage in it. I don't know what it is with some of these people today. They compliment me 1 minute and then trash me the next minute. What's going on here? A what? A electrocuted mop with moldy cabbage. Where's the cabbage from? Where the fuck did you get the cabbage from? What would you tell your 22-year-old self? You know what? Keep at it. Stay at it. Learn as much as possible. Right? Learn as much as possible. And be consistent, for sure. Trust the process and be detached from the outcome. Oh, Mo Salah. I was going to say, where's the cabbage at? You know, I thought my hair looked okay. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that was, what was his name, that professor? Einstein, right? Einstein said this, I believe. Love the content, Ali. You're the GOAT, bro. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you, man. Kenny from the A. Man, what a fucking name that is. That's amazing. Kenny from the A. Ali, I would never. Too much respect for you, man. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you. I had a guy earlier, he was just complimenting me, and then the next moment, trashing me. I was like, fucking out, man. What's going on today? Ali, if you were to recede, would you get a hair transplant or would you own it? I can't lie to you, I'll probably get a hair transplant. But, yeah, God willing, that doesn't happen. But, you know, Turkey's where it's at for a lot of things. Fixing your teeth, getting your hair done, right? Never do a nose job, guys. Don't be fucking stupid and get a fucking no rhinoplasty or whatever, man. Embrace your nose. Because I see so many of these guys now getting these feminine nose jobs. Their nose goes from being like a fucking Greek god nose to a fucking small petite. I'm like, bro, what have you done? Women like big noses. You know, when I was young, I thought, man, I got a fucking big nose. That's ugly, right? And then as I got older and I had more interactions with women as well, they're like, oh, I love a big nose. Do you know what I'm saying? They love a big nose. And, you know, if you know, you know. If you don't know, now you know. Put it this way. Women will prefer a bigger nose than a small one for several reasons, right? I won't get into that. I want to try and keep this live PG. So, brother, I've been watching you for the past few months, and I really resonate with your message. You speak in a calm, respectful manner. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you, man. Just shave your head if you don't have a weird-shaped head. Oh, man. Oh, damn, we've got Stacy in here. I forgot. I'm trying to be respectful, Stacy. I apologize for my profanity and my disgraceful... what was I going to say? My disgraceful examples. I didn't get into it. I stayed away. What's your opinion on dropshipping? Well, to be honest, I don't know much about it. I'll be honest with you. I don't know much about it. Breaking character. You know what? I need to display more of my character. I do say some wild shit off camera. But you know how it is with YouTube these days, man. You know, you get flagged for saying, you know, the simplest shit. Or for showing any personality. We don't want that, you know? You get told off. Someone said, we all got big noses, but even bigger with it. Oh, shit, man. I think 5-minute book review videos would be very cool from you. Yeah, I need to get back into them, man. I really do. Do you have to wake up early to be successful? No. You can wake up late and be successful. It's what you do when you're awake that's important. Oh, that's a good question. I mean, what I would say as a person of faith, as a Muslim, I would say the Quran is a book to live your life with, because it encompasses every aspect of life. It's a guide on how to live life. But if we're talking about self-improvement books away from religion, one book. Good question, man. Good question. There are books on finance, books on health, but I would probably say a book that touches on a lot of these. For a man, I would say probably The Way of the Superior Man. If we're talking about a good guide for men, I feel like that's a great book. If we're talking about a financial book, different story, right? Because The Way of the Superior Man doesn't get into detail on finances and how to approach it and things like that. But I would say overall, a general book is probably The Way of the Superior Man. That's a great book. It really influenced me. It talks about relationships, finding your purpose, your sexual urges, touches on a few things. Thanks very much for jumping on, brother. I appreciate you, man. Books for insomnia. Well, to be fair, any book will help with insomnia, I guess. I mean, if you stare at pieces of paper long enough, you're going to feel tired and you're going to want to sleep. Ali, serious question. What's the difference between reading a book and listening to podcasts? I think both are important. I think listening to a podcast is probably more feasible for a lot of people, because when you're driving, you can't be reading, right? When you're in the gym, you can't be reading a book, but you can listen. And so you can still learn and progress by listening to audiobooks and podcasts. So it's definitely something to take advantage of. But occasionally pick up an actual book, a physical book, and read it, because it stimulates the brain in a different way. How often do you go live, Ali? At the moment, I don't have a set schedule, although I am going to be going live on Patreon as well. Patreon.com/the top 3%. So I'm going to be doing lives that aren't on there. How should you react if a girl tries to fight you as a man? You don't fight her. You don't engage in that. Right? You got to remember you are different. You're not a woman. So you're not going to fight a woman. You're just going to walk away respectfully with your dignity. And you're probably going to end that relationship, because if a woman feels like she needs to hit you to get her point across, then she's probably not the right woman for you. Honestly, a CEO for a major banking institution said, read the book around the Phileas Fogg's world in 80 days. You're not told what the takeaway from the story is if you have to figure it out yourself. I like retaining information from a book. It's way easier than listening to a podcast for me personally. Yeah, people learn in different ways. People learn in different ways. Ali, would you ever write a book? Yeah, eventually. I'm struggling with time. I can't aim for a goal just because I think it's a long way ahead and I get demotivated. Well, I've said this in countless videos. You've got to develop your relationship with time. Don't see time as something that is just escaping you. See it as something that's necessary for the process, for you to get better. I need time to go by. You don't plant a seed today and come back the next day and say, hey, where's the tree at, right? I mean, they'll come and take you away, as Jim Rohn says, right? You need to be realistic. Things take time. You can't speed up a pregnancy, right? It takes 9 months. So it's the way things are. Things take time. A Rolls Royce takes 6 months to build. Some of these cheap cars are mass produced in 72 hours. All right. So if you want something great, you got to be okay with it taking a bit of time. As long as you're fulfilled during the process and you're not miserable, then you're on the right track. How did you pray as a Muslim? Absolutely. Alhamdulillah. 5 times a day is necessary. It's one of the key pillars of Islam. Ali, I'm trying to engage in the no, actually, but it's ruined me so hard I don't feel anything. Well, how long have you been at it? I mean, there's always that initial phase where it's very difficult. You know, the first couple of weeks, right? This is the hardest. Take care, my brother. See you soon, bro. Guys, don't forget to like this live stream as well. It helps YouTube promote the lives to a bigger audience. So I'd appreciate that. I'm going to sign out now as well. Appreciate you all for jumping on. Don't forget, the Patreon is patreon.com/the top 3%, exclusive community, behind the scenes, extra videos, live streams. Patreon.com/the top 3%. Appreciate you all. Follow me on Instagram, Ali_Ben-Hariz. If you want to gain access to my trading course, remember, I will be taking it offline soon. Visit my website, alibenhariz.com. Details to the course are on there. I will be increasing the price this year as well. The price will go up so strongly, right? But if you want to find out more information, feel free to click on my website. Book a call as well if you want to speak to me personally. All the details are there as well. All right, fellas, thanks very much. Appreciate your time. Thank you for joining me today. And I will catch you guys later this week. I want to go live more often. All right? Take care, guys.